And on this show, we highlight the ingenuity of Liberians in and out of Liberia by sharing their successes, challenges, entrepreneur endeavors, and much more with the intent to inspire other upcoming changemakers. The 1847 show also promotes the Liberian culture by creating a space for individuals to learn the history of our nation, to find solutions to problems that affect our country today. For this and much more, stay tuned for all things Liberian. We'll be right back after this short break.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C, O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
Hello, my name is Preacha Mann, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Genesis Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.
Welcome back. You're watching the 1847 show, and this is the 10th edition of our Music Fest. This segment highlights the work of artists who are using their music to promote the art and culture of our beloved Liberia. Our artist today is Ilasa Jewe, who goes by the stage name of Preacha Mann. Preacha Mann is a gospel rapper who uses his story and talent to promote and win souls for Christ. Please join us as we introduce our artist. Mr. Preacha Mann, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. How are you?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I can hear you.
Ah, the devil ready again. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you. It was working just now. We tested all of this. Can you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you. Can you hear me now? Eh, the devil. We can't bring gospel rapper on this show. The man coming for it again. Anyways, give us 1 second. It was working, so we know it's gonna work. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me? All right, he's going to join shortly. But for those of you that are watching, you're watching the 1847 show. I'm your host, of course, the one and only Prince Lamin Jarbo. And if you haven't followed the 1847 show yet, come on. If you're a Liberian, this is the show for you. We are here to promote and support all things Liberian. Today, the one and only Preacha Mann will bring him on our platform to not only tell his story that is inspiring other youth as well, whether in the ghetto or out of the ghetto. We're also here to share his music, which are much more empowering. And they're not just Christian music, but they're music that is good for your soul. So let's see if now our internet will permit us. Can you hear me now? Hello? You hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, man. Hello? Let's see. Can you hear me? Well, let's take a short break and see if that would help. But stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C, O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
Welcome back. Let's see if we can get this thing working now. Are you there, Mr. Man? Are you there? The video is currently turned off, so if you want to turn it on. And then for those of you that have already started commenting, we appreciate the interaction. All right, let's see here. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? This thing was just working. So anyways, for those that are watching, if you're not following the 1847 show, please take the time. We will get this working. Like I said, it was giving us problems, but we figured it out and it was working. And then here we are again, back to where we started. But we will get it working. We have a lot of content for you today, a lot of good music, and also a very inspiring story. So we're not going to give up on this for as long as the devil wants to stop this from working. We'll keep fighting. But if you're watching and you're not following the 1847 show, we have to be productive people. So use the time while it's not working. Go follow us, and then you come back. And by that time, we should be able to get it up and running. So until then, we'll take a short break. And if you have any questions, any interactions, comments for the artist, myself, you can put it in the comments and we'll be sure to address those. But until then, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C, O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
Hello, my name is Preacha Mann from the Girls of Destiny Crazy Organization and owner at Janice's Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things Liberian. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things Liberian.
Hello, welcome back. Let's try this again. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but yeah, you gotta turn on your camera now. I'm hearing you fine. Let's see if that would.
I'm working on it. Just a minute.
No problem, no problem. At least we got the audio to work. Step one.
Yeah, I think the video is on.
Your video is on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on.
I'm not seeing your video though.
It was happening. It was happening. Uh,
So is it
my
either the
camera.
video works or the audio doesn't work? Yeah, I'm not seeing your video at all. The screen is just black. Are you still using Safari?
Yes.
Can you see yourself?
I stopped seeing myself.
Yeah, so but try rejoining again with both the video and audio on and see if that would help. But now,
Okay.
hold on. Oh man. So my apologies, guys. We were having some technical difficulties, as you can see. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm seeing your video. Go ahead and try to. I don't know if you're not in the
To
camera. That's why.
flip the camera. I want it.
We're seeing your camera, but we can't see you.
Oh,
Can you still hear me? This thing is coming in as a
I
whole
think it's more.
separate.
I think it's more of a network issue. It's taking some time to load the front camera.
Okay. But what's happening is your microphone is coming in as a whole different device. That's why we have multiple screens on here.
Oh
So
wow.
once your microphone is off, then I won't be able to hear you. You can hear me still?
I can hear you. I see one.
Go ahead. Oh, wow. You learn something new every day. Can you hear me now?
Oh, gee.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
So you're saying that you flipped the internet and the camera and the internet wouldn't allow it to load?
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's front
Hmm.
camera. It's
So
front camera.
if you were to log out and log back in, would that help?
I think so. I think.
Okay. Stand by, guys.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco underscore LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco underscore LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
All right. Can you hear me?
I do.
Still not seeing your face, but let's
Neither
see.
can I.
You're not seeing
All
me
right, I
either?
see you now. I see you now.
Okay.
Man, this thing is tripping.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I don't know if we can try to improvise and just use the audio, but that would be very unique.
To me,
If you
right?
want to, if you want to keep trying until we can, because it worked before, so we know it can work. So do you want to keep trying?
Exactly. Definitely, I'm gonna keep trying.
Okay, because just your audio might be very, very much unique. But keep trying. Let's see. Give it a few more minutes. Hopefully, we can get it to work. But we don't want to take away from the story by not showing your face. So see what you can do, and I will put it on in the background here. Once I see you, then we'll come back on right away.
Okay.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco underscore LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco underscore LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.
Hello, can you see and hear me now?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, and I'm seeing you as well. That's awesome.
Here we go.
Okay, okay. So
We
we're gonna
we
go.
made it.
We made it, my man. That's why you don't give up in life, right?
Not at all.
Awesome. So the first thing I want to talk about is, you recently celebrated your birthday. So as a Christian rapper, my man, tell us a little bit about how do Christian rappers celebrate their birthdays? We know most people will go to the club, most people will do this and do that, but how do Christian rappers like yourself celebrate your birthday?
So I'm gonna speak for myself.
Hmm.
It was a moment of sober reflection for me. I stayed home all day. I initially intended to spend some time in the church, but then I decided since my home is quiet, I stayed home all day most of the time. I was just reflecting on the journey so far, both from before while I was on the substance and after my transformation, and looking at the significance of my age, it it had me really thinking deep, and then uh, I cooked fried rice,
Wow. So,
and
so
then
you're also a chef part time.
not really, but a man's got to do what he has to do. So
Exactly.
I cooked. Yeah, I cooked. I bought a bottle of wine, non-alcoholic, and I just celebrated myself.
That's awesome, my
So
man.
that was basically my 33rd birthday. That was how it went.
Okay. And we will
Yeah,
talk about your journey, of course, as a Christian rapper. But before that, you went by the name of Easy, if I'm saying it correctly, and you were also a secular rapper. So we want
sure.
to know, and while you were a secular rapper, you released some songs with people like Christoph and so on and so forth. And now you
Yeah,
go by the name of Preacher Man. So why Preacher
yeah.
Man? Of course, you've told me this, but I just want you to share that with the audience. Why the name Preacher Man?
Preacher man, after God delivered me from my past, uh, I knew that I was going to face being bullied by my friends because out in the streets I was the one to have like that cause. If my friends were doing one, I had to go two, three, four. So uh, 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 seeing myself picking up a Bible and then talking about God, going to church, I knew that I was gonna be called some kind of church name, like man of God, pastor, and they was gonna be calling me like that to bully me, to make me feel ashamed of my faith. So I was asking God, what can I do? How can I face this? And then I was listening to a song. The name actually came from a song.
Hmm.
So I'm listening to this song, and in the song lyric says, "I used to want to be a dope dealer, and now the who is calling me preacher man." So when I heard that line in the song, that was it. Yeah, I just had a strong conviction that wow, I think I'm going to call myself preacher man, and when my friends are calling me pastor or man of God, it's already my name, so it's not going to move me. That was how I adopted the name preacher man. That's
Wow.
the story behind the name.
A lot of meaning to it. Some people come up with names. Some of them we've also interviewed on the show, and there is not much meaning to it. They just like the sound of it. But I think yours is even more powerful. It carries a whole story behind it. So that's
That's
awesome. And I think it's a very catchy name. When people hear preacher man, they want to see what this man is about, right? Are you preaching?
sure.
Are you making music? They want to know, which I think you do a little bit of both. You also preach through your songs. You give biblical references in your songs, and you really don't say what it is. There are context clue, but people got to go and read the Bible to understand what you're referring to. So in a way,
Exactly.
yeah, that is kind of preaching. But let's talk a little bit about your
Exactly.
childhood because you grew up in a Christian family, very uniquely. One
Sure.
of few people, both of your parents were pastors. So how does growing
Sure.
up
They
with both
still.
parents as pastors, how did that shape your childhood into, and how different was that compared to other children coming up? Did you notice the
Uh,
difference between
uh,
you and other children?
Sure, sure. Growing up in a Christian home with both your parents being pastors, the expectation is so high. People expect you to have a certain moral standard. People expect you to automatically reflect the message of your parents. People expect you to be like that yardstick for discipline, that yardstick for morality. So the pressure on me was so much. It was really hard, and my parents really did their best in bringing me up in the fear of God. Like growing up, there's not a time in my childhood that I can remember secular music being played in my house. I woke up to programs on radio EW like On Shackle, Back to the Bible, Guidelines. Those were strictly all Christian program. The only station I used to play in my house as a kid was On Shackle, and we grew up in a very humble family, like everybody in one room. That was the beginning. And though we were poor, yeah, but there was something that I knew we had in my home, in my family, that I did not see in others around me. There was a level of peace and joy. As at that time, I took it for granted. I did not think peace of mind and as a family. I was aware of that. My home was very peaceful. The home was very peaceful. I never saw my dad raising his voice at my mom. I never saw my dad abusing my mom. I never saw my parents fight. I know that parents have their own issues, but I never saw it one day. So that was my childhood. But man, there was always this rebel in me because people expected that high moral standards from me, and I could not find myself to meet it. I was always the one breaking the rules. And as a child, there was one thing
Not
that
to cut you
that
off,
I
but
used to
out
tell.
of how many siblings did you have?
That was one, two, three, four, five, but six. It was
Six
six. Yeah,
siblings. And you're
yeah.
saying that
Those
you were
little.
the most rebellious one.
I was, I
Got you.
was
Okay.
because my brothers were and sisters were older than me, and I had a sister that I was older than, and she's late, may her soul rest in peace. But she was like the one who like embodied the preaching of my parents. She was that child who was straight, and my parents were straight on the older ones. But man, I was just this little rebel like in the family, and it started from as small as far back as I can remember.
Okay.
That was my childhood.
Man, it's very powerful when you say that people expect and use pastors' children to be the yardstick of morality, to be the yardstick of the high standards. And I can only imagine the type of pressure that creates
True,
for the children. For good reasons, they expect that because,
true.
if your family is a Christian family, the standards are there. The Bible said to train up a child in a way that when he grows, he will not depart from it. So I can understand why they expect that. But for the children, man, you just want to be a child. You just want to be rebellious. You just want to do things and,
Just
and
want
think.
to. You just want to.
So I can
You
imagine
just
how,
want to.
yes, how much impact that can have on you. So throughout your childhood, some of the things that you had issues with was low self-esteem, and also, like you mentioned right now, losing your sister. Those had tremendous impact on you mentally. And one of the ways that
True.
you try to cope with that is by utilizing drugs. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that experience and how you were able to use drugs to kind of find solace with yourself and with your mind as well?
Sure. So I'm a 90s baby. So uh, I don't know if it is the effect of the war or what, but I had some childhood experiences that had me so timid. Like I was always afraid of uh, uh, my surrounding, afraid of like the world, but I was also afraid of myself. There was this darkness that I had on the inside of me that made me to always withhold myself. I was not the one to open up to people easily. I was the child who would want to play by themselves. So as I struggle with that low self-esteem, I always found myself wanting to be like somebody else. Uh, I always, I always, I always, I always saw myself like uh, questioning why I was born to Christian parents. Like why my dad a pastor? Why my pa is somebody else? Why my pa could have been any other thing? Why my pa should be pastor? And going to school, going to school, like at that time we used to bully so much. And if your dad was a pastor, you come into school, you're about to get it, bro. Your friends come tell you, say my man, yesterday was Sunday, especially Monday morning. All that offering where your pa can raise, like your pa eating the church money. You you can bring it. You can bring the people offering to school. You be saying that on it. So
Oh man.
you know, you,
The
you know
feeling
those
for
kind
me
of
is
thing
like you
as a
won't
kid,
cry.
like it would get under your skin. And I was not the one to back down. Like, yo, bring the heat, bro. I got it. So because of my low self-esteem, I always tell people the empty drum is the one that will make the loudest noise. So I always hate my low self-esteem with the trying to be the one to prove that I can do it. I got it. So that was it with my low self esteem. Then when I started to desire this craving for smoking, it started like with smoking the paper, just ordinary paper, because I always wanted to prove to myself that like I'm hard, I'm tough, like I'm rough. So it started with just a kid sneaking by himself, wrapping the paper and just smoking the paper. It started with that. Then I remember a particular time I went to spend some time for the Christmas in Yucatan with my aunt. And I remember that night, that was my first time. I was still a kid. That was my first time seeing like we were all like kids in Yucatan. Like I saw myself among so many rough kids. And we had a copa in the middle. And everybody smoking the paper, smoking you gather the small cigarette nut. It was the Eve of Christmas. And that was the beginning. That was what set the foundation for the smoking. But after those times that I stopped, and then uh, my sister death really took a whole different turn with the smoking, because my first encounter with marijuana, the real substance, I had to chew it. I followed my friends that day after school, after the win, and I followed them. And when I got to where they were smoking, and by that time I was a bit older and I had some level of consciousness. So when they passed me the joint, I was like, no, bro, I can't smoke. My father pastor, I can't smoke. Means, but you can smoke, you can chew the level. So my first time encountering weed, I had to chew it, and then it was from chewing it to just smoking it casually. But when I lost my sister, everything changed. To some extent, she has some level of influence on me for real. She was ill for a long time, I think about a year and a half, and during her sickness, there were times when I look back now, I see how she was showing some hints here and there. I did not know I was going to lose her. I thought like she was going to recover. And there were times where I used to sit by myself as a kid and tell my and crowd to go like, I'm the devil. Yeah, I'm the evil one. Like this child is so good. Like she's making impact. She's the good one. Why can't you give me her sickness and let her be 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 killed, be happy, like be healthy? So after she passed, man, I just went. Everything was everything just took a whole different turn. I could not find myself being being sober an entire day. I started to abuse the substance so heavily, and she passed while I was in the ninth grade. And that year after her death, it was only marijuana. And when I passed to the 10th grade, I got introduced to the higher substance. I got introduced to tar, Italian wife in the street in Liberia. We call it the market. We call it the market where woman. Yeah, so her passing just made me like break every restraint. Like I was like, this is it. I'm going all in because I remember doubting the existence of God. As a child, I had so many encounters. In spite of what I was doing, God was always showing to me that He's real. There were times I prayed certain prayers and it got answered, and I knew that it was my prayer that got answered. There were times I had dreams and visions of God being real. So I knew that God was real. But after my sister passed, I started to doubt like the things my friends and me saying on school at school that they all go up in there skin like children like German papi on the horse yeah it's fit. So they all go up in there yeah it's not real yeah, it's not real because I asked my dad one time I was like papi the Bible say many are the affliction of the righteous and God will deliver them from them all but why did God not deliver my sister? He tried to answer that question, but it was not the type of answer I wanted. In 2 days, I already went to him with my walls built up. So when he did not meet my expectation, from within, I doubted God, and that was when the devil stepped in for real. Yeah.
So then you went to drugs full time. How long were you in the ghetto? Trying to cope and find meaning in life by utilizing drugs. How long were you just in that setting until things changed for the better?
I would say over a period of 10 years. Yeah, because when my sister passed, I was going to school reset period. I was going to school reset period like regularly. Students would go to school in the morning, but I was going to school. I would mix with the crowd. Like after reset, I would leave my house in the morning, and I would go in the ghetto and I would spend time there just to be among the numbers, like mix with the children after reset and go to class and sleep all through and just come back home. So putting the years together, it was yeah a little over 10 years. Like the struggle with the addiction, it was quite some time.
10 years.
It was
Wow,
quite,
that's crazy. That's a whole generation.
I'm telling you, that
And
was
that's when people
that
really
was some
start
of
to
the
believe that this is who you are. There will be no more change in you. There will be
sure
nothing good to come out of you because you've been doing it for so long. 10 years, most people don't do anything and stay committed to it for 10 years. So when you go the
for so
negative
long.
way and you do it for 10 years, people start to not even believe that it's possible to bring you back. But here you are, you've been fully rejuvenated. But I want you to
Sure.
tell us a little bit about some of the instances or encounters that you had that brought you out of the ghetto specifically. So like you said there was a time where when you were healing and you try to go to church, there was this one time you wanted to go back to the ghetto to actually smoke. But then when you got there, you had an encounter with somebody else. So you want to share that story because I think it's such a powerful
True.
story that people need to hear. Like sometimes we think we're achieving
True.
our selfish motives, but God has other plans for us and we have no idea. So just share a little bit of that with us.
True. True. So before I say that, why I was in the street, there were times that I'll be out of my house for months, and I'm in the ghetto. Maybe I'm somewhere Douala or somewhere Logan Town, somewhere in town, and or Nuku Town. I'm in that place for some time, and then one night, like I would just get up among my friends, and I'll tell them, I'll say, bro, I go home tonight. I'm telling you, maybe it's about 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I will not care about the time. I will say, I'm going home tonight. And they'll be like, you're making fun. I will say, they can say, you're going hustle, you're going to steal. You're going to steal. You say, you're going home. I say, no, bro, I'm going home tonight. And I will get up with a pack of cigarette in my pocket and I'm smoking, and I will literally be crying. I will not know why I'm crying. I will be crying. If I'm in Newtown or St. Paul's Bridge, I'm walking from there straight home. And those instances, every night I got home, and when I bang at the door, the first thing I would hear my mom praying for me. And when I bang at the door, she will open the door for me to go home, like to enter the house. Those were instances that God was using like to break my heart. So fast forward, one day I'm sitting in the ghetto. Uh, uh, Before that time, I had an encounter with God for real. That night, I remember that it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday. I still remember like yesterday. I did not, for some reason, this Saturday night you put a Sunday. I was so high. I did not know how I got home because I was telling somebody whenever I had money, like my consumption level was about a tube. And if you in the streets, you know what a tube is, then you know what I'm talking about. And when I'm broke, it's about grain or half grain. So I had money that time, and I was so high. So I went home that Saturday and I slept all day. Sunday, I could not find the strength to get out of bed and go in the street to get a fix. Not that I did not have money. I had money, but I could not. So when the time reached that the drug that I had consumed had left my body, it was like I was in the trance. It was in the night. I did not know I was in the trance. I saw myself standing over myself, and I saw my friends then fighting over me. And it was at that moment that I really had my first real encounter with God. And I saw a Bible and I saw an envelope. I did not know what was in the envelope, but I knew I did not see what was in it, but I knew it contained money. And a voice told me to choose. And it was reluctant. It was as if my hands was empowered to choose the Bible. When I laid my hands on the Bible, I saw myself back in my body and I shouted. After that encounter, I got sick at the point of death. They had to tow me from the street and carry me back home. I will be taking medication, and the moment my parents gave me small change, I will remove the drip from my hands and I will crawl my way back in the ghetto. And God kept me alive. So after that encounter, I knew now that I had to get out. I knew that I was tired. It was after that encounter that I started to cry out to God in my heart. I started to tell God that if you're real, this is what I need you to do to prove to me, my son. I need you to take this thing out of me. I know that I'm way far gone and I can't help myself. If you're real, you want to step in and take this thing out of me. It was not instantaneous. It was over a period of a year. I will be crying, and during those times, I'll be in the ghetto. I'll be smoking the substance, and I'll be speaking against it. My friends used to be like, "My man, you smoking and you talking say you will lead the thing. The guy they put here, you can lead drug, you might be you will let it in." And
Right.
I'll be I'll be I'll be
Right.
smoking, I'll be smoking, and I'm talking against the substance. I'm talking against it. When I see another young man who is just coming on the substance, I'll be angry with them. I'll be talking to them. I'm thinking, you know what you're getting, you know what you're getting yourself into, and they will tell me say if you bow, what you doing inside.
Right.
Yeah, if you buy, why you can leave it? Those words used to hate me, and I used to take it as a challenge. I did not know
Oh man.
how, I did not know when, but I just
Yes. You might, if somebody is calling, you might need to put your phone on do not disturb or something. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Can't hear you. Hello? All right. So, anyways, I don't have to say much. You guys are hearing how powerful this man's story is. So, thank you for joining. Thank you for interacting. Keep commenting. If there's any questions that you would like to ask him, keep commenting. We'll try to get to those. But as you know, we bring people like this on our platform at all times to inspire other Liberians as well, people like himself that are trying to be better. So thank you for joining again. Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
But you can see me. I can
Yes,
see myself. Okay.
I can see you.
Okay. So during those times, man, I'll be speaking out and I'll be like aggressive with the Nigerian guys, and the D-Day happened. I'm gonna get to that
Did you say D Day?
morning. I remember me.
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay, so that morning I woke up and I'm in the ghetto. I have absolutely no means of getting money. All I have on me is a pack of cigarette that slept with me the night before, and I'm sitting and thinking, what am I going to do to get money today to get a fix? And then uh like a crazy man, like walking in the ghetto to be a monk.
Oh, yeah. So we're having some internet issues. Let's see if he's going to rejoin here. But stay tuned. So what we have next, after we've gone over his story and how far he's coming, his journey, the next thing here is to listen to some of his music, right? Because that's really what he stands for today, is using music to win souls for Christ. So we still have his music to listen to, which are good music. And if you haven't heard any, this is the right platform to hear those songs on. So stay tuned. We'll play his music and he will also react to them, and then we'll conclude the day. But we have a lot of more engaging content here for you. Let's bring him back here. Can you hear
Can you hear
me?
me?
Yes, I can hear
Can you
you.
hear
Can you
me?
hear and see me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, go ahead.
So that morning I'm seated in the ghetto, man, and this madman walks in the ghetto. He passed by all and he goes to the dump site. And he turns and he pointed to me. He just said, "You." And then my attention went on him. He laughed. He said, "What are you doing here?" Man, that was it. Those words carry conviction that that broke my heart. And I was like, wow. If this madman, that me the man talking to, if the man can look at me and ask me what I'm doing here, it means that I'm misplaced. That was it for me. I woke up that morning and I went back home. I went on the road, try to get a bike. Like no bike wants to carry me because they know when they carry up, we get paid. So I was standing beside the road. The first true. The first time they know we get paid. The first time God showed me was uh a Fuller National. He came and he stopped and he said, friend, he said, let me carry you, let's go. And I got on his bike. And that guy carried me straight to my house. I did not have any money on me. That Fuller man carried me straight to my house. And then he put me down. My mom, it was in the day, it was in the morning hours. My mom was on the back porch and she asked me one question. She said, "You not coming now?" And I told her, I said, "People the food me, people the name for me." And I
We'll talk about that one
walked
later.
and I went in my room. And I cried. And I cried. I remember just crying. I had not, like the way I felt. I had not experienced that for a long time. I feel alive for with all the withdrawal symptoms and everything in that moment. Like I was just like, God, this is it. Like you can't speak to me more than this because before I had that encounter, my life, like I came close to death almost 3 times. There was a particular one that was so close that night I saw my death. Like I fell in like in the hands of an angry mob. It was around 11, 12 midnight, and I'm talking about 25 plus person like beating me. People that some of them that knew me, like they beating me according to their knee, and and I remember I was just praying for a long time. I had not prayed out loud, but that night when they were beating me, I kept the only thing that would come to mind was say the Psalm 20. And I remember I kept saying, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He make me the loud and green pasture," and they beating me and won't guess it. But what kind of role they beating me? Just praying so. I remember hearing her voice in the crowd. And and fast forward, I just heard that, oh, the man park coming, oh. He park coming. And the next thing I knew was my parents were on the scene. I saw the car like they were on the scene and they picked me up, they carried me home that night. And the next day I was back in the streets. So I knew that it was either God deliver me or I die in the streets. And so that day when I went back home, I kept like I told God, like, this is it. I don't need you to speak in any other voice. Like I hear you, and I'm like I surrender. This is it. And that was the beginning of the journey. It wasn't easy. Like withdrawal symptom was it was something I could not imagine 10 years of addiction. I did not know where I got that strength from, but that the voice of that man, it was like something on repeat in my head. What my picking, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And I just held on to that voice. I just held on to that voice, and one day passed, 2 days, and 3 days, and when it started, when I started to make my way back to the church, at first I thought people were they were going to be excited, but no, it was not that. Like people say, but I don't blame them because it wasn't my first time. Every time I wanted to have my way, when I would come back home and pretend like, okay, I'm back home and I would cause serious trouble and I would run. So they thought there was one of the tricks again. They say, that man wants something for a pa. That man wants something for a pa. That why he
Right.
doing this. And I heard things like how long John was staying in the army. That but this time around, they did not know it was different. So one day passed, 2 days, 3 days, and this is it. We approaching 9 years of sobriety.
That's awesome, man. And to be quite honest with you, one thing I really admire about your story is how much God pursue you consistently and you never give up. And I think it goes to
He did.
show,
He did.
yes, his love for not only you, but as an example to many other people that might be struggling with those substances, is that God will pursue you. You just have to be willing to accept his offer because he offered you many times. And eventually you got to the point where, just like you said, I don't need any more signs. I've been praying for signs and wonders, and you have shown me everything. I don't need any more signs. I know that this is it. And you vividly said, hey, it's either I accept his offer to leave the street or I die in the street. It got to that point. So that's something that amazes me about your story. It's just God's pursuit for you, which goes to show there is a huge calling and a huge purpose on your life. That's why he did not want to lose you. That's why he wanted to bring you back
True.
into his presence.
True.
So it's amazing. Thank God for you, for your
True.
story. That after 10 years that you are back, you have, approaching 9 years of sobriety. So that's awesome, man. And a part of how God is using you now is what we're going to go into to play some of your songs. So it's an exciting part of this show. And one of the first songs that I actually want to play, it's it has to do with who you were before as a secular artist. So we can see the before and after, correct? Yeah. So give me a second here. Let me share this. All right. So this is a non-conventional way.
on exclusive, baby.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, D-May in the house, nigga.
Can you hear it? You can hear it? Those that are watching, if you can hear this song, please comment. So you can hear it?
I do. I hear it.
All right, let's try that again.
I'm laughing because of the song. Oh, it's coming in broken. Yeah, I hear the song.
Yeah, D-May in the house, nigga. Cristo, what's up? Chevy said she want it. Chevy said she need it. The cat say I'm gonna give it to her. She really want no her. Chevy said she want it. She said she need it. The cat say I'm gonna give it to her. She really want no her. My banana, my banana, my banana, hit it from the front, hit it from the back, hit it from the side, I'ma hit it from the back. The Jew can't wait, she all kissing me, pulling me, telling me she want my Remy. I said, baby, slow down, let's do it slow. You kiss me, I kiss you, don't take a flow. Fresh for the block, yeah, I ain't gonna be cold. I'm wasting your time, I'm about.
All right, so I'm going to pause it a little bit. I just want to give you guys an idea. Because that man is saying some things that Preacha Mann does not stand by today. And but I'm only playing it because I want to give you guys an idea on what kind of music he used to. So I'm going to skip it to his part. And it doesn't really get better because he was just like the same man that you hear talking about my banana. And for me, I know banana to be a fruit. So we'll go ahead and skip it to his part.
Let's stick to the fruit. Let's stick to the fruit. To the fruit part.
Did you say I'm gonna give it to her? I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give it to her. Did you say I'm gonna give it to her?
By the way, like a man speaking here, at the time he was known as Easy. He said the Jew said he will give it to her. So let you all you gotta say.
New generation exclusive, baby.
Oh man.
Yeah, D-May in the house, nigga. You already know. Cristo, what's up? Chevy said she want it. I get it to her. Put it in, she said take it up. I take it up, I take it up. She open her mouth, she like it raw. I got it loose up. No brief, my banana in my box of what's up. She full that shit, so I flush up. No mistakes, so we going for rehearsal. What's up? Hits up, our wrist up. Still before the mirror, I undress up. I got a tip and toes, I got a body froze. She missing my lips, she kissing my nose. My banana, Chevy said she want it. She said she need it. The cat say I'm gonna give it to her.
So that's it, guys. Apologies if you're on this call and that song just hurt your ears or give you memories of things that you don't want to hear. We apologize for that, but there's a specific reason that we did that.
So sorry.
I was telling Preacha Mann this morning, I'm like, hey, my man, it's good to reflect on the past to see how far God has brought you. And that was the kind of music, even before you started doing drugs, before your sister passed, that was the kind of life you wanted to live. Like you said, you're a very rebellious person, and you got to live a part of that life. You made music with Christoph. You talk about things that you don't necessarily stand by today. So tell us a little bit about that and the memories that were coming back to your head as you're listening to those songs before we play with songs that represent you now.
Truth is, I got before Christoph became Christoph, like I got so many songs. I got a couple of songs with Chris, and we started music as far back as like with the Crystal era, the CIC era, and I was potential enough. Like I had the potential, and the song playing right now, I still remember vividly the day. That's why I keep laughing. Uh, I never used to actually write. Like I would just get high and I say what I hear. So that was how far I went. I remember this day. My friends had to pull me out of the ghetto to record this song, and it was like, bro, like Chris Nunley was on the song. That man, I'm the shot on the song, bro. Like, what you on? We gotta go put in our work. And they convinced me. I came through. Yeah. it was
You
it
know,
was
one
a it
interesting,
was a crazy.
yeah, one
What?
interesting thing in that song, you said, she want alle SHI, and you can finish the other one. So I flush on.
So,
I said, oh, I got mad. So,
that was my state of mind. That was my
yeah,
state of mind. That was how cool and dead I was. But that was how perverted my mind was. Like it was crazy. And then seeing that, and I actually used to love music, man. Anybody who knows me from my childhood back then, they know me like for the music. That when it came to the music, I was all in. But then the drug at a certain point in time, the both things that I fell in love with, I fell in love with the music first, then with the drug next. They became conflicting. I could not balance the drug with the music. I could not balance the music with the drug. So yeah, man. Those are memory of the good old days. Like that guy is dead and gone.
yes, yes. Now, Preacher Man
That
has
guy is dead and gone.
resurrected.
Every now and then I go to where I was baptized, and I was like, man, that's my grave. That's where the old me was buried.
Right,
That's where the old me was buried.
right.
Yeah, man.
Powerful, powerful. Now that
But you playing
Preacher
that
Man,
song just now, I mean, laughing.
Preacher Man has resurrected, and the Preacher Man we're about to introduce to you guys, who is the active and the live man. That man that you heard, his name was Easy. He's not active anymore. Now,
Yeah, he's
former.
dead. He's dead.
All right, so
He's dead.
this is Preacher Man. The first song here is called what is this one? Is If You Not Know God. So we'll go ahead and play.
If you not know God, my pikin, you babe. Me, one rap I want see the pape. La one my heart, dale pape kate. The gospel of peace on my feet, the friend, what they are slugging. If you not know God, my brother, Johnny. Me, one rap I want see the pape. La one my heart, dale pape kate. The gospel of peace on my feet, the friend, what they are slugging. 10, 20, 30, 40. You assume me 50. You making fun with God, Benny, brother. It's a pity. Uncle Mr. No More. You sure you know the road? Stomach gang at 4, you still want you for better for you dress to impress, and two for say you fresh. Be let me ask you, yeah, have you accepted Christ? The road that leads to tomorrow is narrow, but Jesus really showing the way. You better let follow. What's up with all my real boy? Then we're living for Goya. If you get Jesus in your heart, that's how you be boy. To all these unbelievers, and I'm kind of joy. I here to show you love that you and Jesus died for. Jesus Moriah, he is high, and he can't get go. Salvation power free your child, brother. It's not for sale. You not get Jesus in your life, you just an empty boy. Small child, second shot on you, probably with school. But even if you see what black jelly, the coat road, the blood you share for you will wash you whiter than the snow. Papa God, I never knew that how you love me so. The kind of way you let him up be there, we never know.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Now, in that song you mentioned, you said if you get Jesus in your heart, you be boy, yeah. So tell us what you mean by that. Because that's not how the society define what a big boy is. The
Uh,
society big boy is somebody who has the most cars, the nicest house, the finest girls. So what do you
True.
mean by you have Jesus in your heart? You're a big boy.
I did not get to live the quote unquote. It was not like as it is like maybe in the US or so, that fast star lifestyle. But in our context, I experienced that. I experienced having so much money to satisfy your needs and your wants. I experienced different kinds of drug. I experienced
The internet. But while we wait for him, let's try playing the song again so you can be hearing your ear.
sleeping around.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I hear you.
Go ahead. You might need to put your if there's somebody calling you, you might need to put your call on your phone on do not disturb. Yeah, but go
I'm
ahead.
use yeah, I'm using my phone, the internet from my phone.
I see. I see. Go ahead.
So yeah, in my context, within the years I was in the street before my addiction became full blown. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Can
Go
you hear
ahead.
me?
hmm Go ahead. Go ahead. We're hearing
Yeah.
you.
So whilst I was out there, I experienced what it means to have money to satisfy your needs and your wants, to have to mess around with multiple women, alcohol, like sex and drugs, and I realized that none of that could satisfy. Absolutely none of that could satisfy. And then me coming from being born in a Christian home and being so close to the truth, being so close to the Word of God, but rejected it and thought that there was a life. What life is all about is what I was seeing on the television, what I was seeing in the music video, what I was seeing in the street. I thought that was real life. That was what could satisfy. So experiencing both and having my own experience, like the prodigal son, it brought me to the place where I could sit and say, yes, now I know that everything else, everything that the world has to offer, it
Doesn't matter.
means absolutely nothing if that gore hole on the inside of you is empty. There is a gore hole on the inside of every soul that only He can fill.
Hmm.
So when I had my experience with God and He stepped into that place, I realized that I was a complete man. I came alive. I was complete. I was whole. I was full. So that's the backdrop of that line. If you get Jesus in your heart, man, you live, bro. Like that's it.
That's
That's
awesome.
it.
Powerful.
That's it.
Powerful.
If you're a carrier of His presence,
Yes. Yes. We'll go to the next
that's
song
it.
here. Before I go to the next song, this song, I believe this one is "The Little Light." So let's play it.
We putting Christian rap on the map, sharing the word of God on the mic. Sometimes spend my days in the trap. We sit out on the whole, want to call a new map. Go! This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Sorry if it making you blind. That you the one I'm trying to find. We're designed so this swap is divine. Don't slip on you up as a friend, you the found. Sorry if it making you blind. That you know I'm riding the vine. Look on this man, that's why I testify. They wanna know there's a virgin. They say I didn't enter in the church with my hip team. I get it again, yes, so and I'm making hip pushing. Father, forgive me if I'm wrong for my hip sin. It's getting dirty, so that's why we keeping hip clean. Undisputed, Jesus, that my hip king. On the cross, Jesus died for hippo sin. So, I time for all to worship God with our hippo. The church board and get a healing for your sick soul. Stepping with the blood of Jesus on the dance floor. Like Jesus get it, go ahead. It's a let's go. And Jesus name, like the lean running in my veins. Miracle and normal thing, the thing I God charity. Martin Luther King, the king I have a dream. That one day my whole black will get born again. My spirit growing more so the word of God like my team. I own my Jesus also. I win it so for him. I'm thankful, not because I'm thankful, because he living inside me, my body that he temple. I'm not the underdog, I'm under God, yeah, my God is a wonder boy. Created the lightning and thunder boy. He died for the native and the thunder boys, yo.
He's out with a nigga and a Congo boy. I'm thankful, not because I'm thankful.
Oh, yeah. Because he living inside me, my body like temple.
I'm not an underdog. I'm under God.
I'm on the call.
I mean, I can keep going on and on and on about the amount of catchy phrase from that song. Light, a little light is the name of the song. I'm winning souls
Yeah.
for so. A lot of people, when you're not an evangelist, when you're not a pastor, and you tell people you're winning souls, it's foreign to them. So tell us, how do you win souls for Christ as a rapper?
Uh, uh, Based on my experience with the music all along, like I know that the music is the one tool that is effective in reaching the subconscious. No permission the music needs, like unknown to yourself at times, like you're in a particular gathering and a particular song come on, whether you are a Christian or not, or pastor or not, like if you're not careful, you find yourself stomping your feet or nodding your head to the rhythm of that song. And it will take you a while to get yourself. Or there are times where you will go out, you will step out and then you will hear a particular song on the radio. You will hear no permission. That song is going to be stuck up in your head for a long time. So when I heard the call, it was actually my entire focus was on my friends that are in the streets. They all knew me to be a rapper, to be an artist, and then I encountered truth. I did not know any better way to preach to them, to share the message of God to them. But in the one tool that I know was effective, like there was a time in my life when a dad or a pastor friend of my dad confronted his son because I think they say his son was smoking or so, and then the person made reference to me, and the person said, "But if this pastor's son can be smoking, then how about me?" So I always knew that that this music thing was effective. So me winning souls for God through music, through rap, it was like this is the only effective tool. This is the one tool that the enemy has been effectively using to corrupt the minds. I have been a servant of that tool before. I have been used to negatively influence the minds of my generation with this tool. So now this gift was given to me by God. I have received the light. I know the difference between light and darkness, like, and I'm surrounded to God. So yes, this gift in God's hands. Even if I am not this gifted, the gift is in God's hands. He know how best to use it. So I was just like, okay, this is mine. God, I hear you, because I did not want to, trust me, I did not want to do music at all when I got saved. I did not want to have anything to do with music. I wanted to go back to school, just be quiet, like be humble as I can, go back to school, and then that was my life. Just be really quiet, stay away from all the noise. Like I already seen so much. I just want to just be quiet. But then God said, man, you kidding. So winning souls for God through music, I realized that young people will go to church on Sundays. They will barely hear the sermons, the music, praise and worship time. They will be high. Worship, they're not too much connected. Sermon, they're on their phone or they're sleeping. But take that same message, put it in song formation, and give it to them. That young man is able to hear the word of God through the music 7 days a week without them knowing that this is God's word and the message is taking root in their hearts. And that was it. That was it.
And then you just allow the Holy Spirit to do the rest. You make the music, bring the word, and then the Holy Spirit
Just
does the
take over.
conviction.
To take over. That's it. And the truth is, I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart to write the things that people be hearing. The truth is, those songs are actually messages given to me. If you listen to the lyrics, you will know that it's timeless. Some of those songs have been recorded over the past 6, 7 years. They can't fade away because I spend my time in God's presence. Like sometimes it's long fasting, it's long prayer, it's keeping yourself in the Word and being in the presence of God. And boom, one day it's like a faucet here open, and I don't have control over the words that I'm hearing. Like I just spin it down, and until I record it, I have no peace. So I know they are not my words. Yeah, they are not my words. They are not.
Powerful,
They are not
powerful,
my
man.
words.
I love your answers and the way you answer questions. I would tell you, as an interviewer, it's amazing to have a person like you to interview because the way you answer questions is very eloquent, and you also give context to what you're saying. You know, you tie into your whole story so people can see the full picture. I consider you a very smart
No,
man, my man, and I understand when you say you're not smart in what you're talking about because the word specifically that you
true,
preach from the Holy Spirit. So I understand in
true,
that context, but according to our human
true.
standard, I consider you a smart man, my man. Well, go ahead and keep listening
Thank
to
you.
that. The next song here is Baller.
Oh,
Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. Bella move, they all up preaching a water. I get clear half of my
Brother.
brothers, so I turn the streets to the jail. Yeah. Surrounded by grown men, they get a coochie to put all the all up preaching a water. I get clear half of my brothers, so I turn the streets to the jail. Yeah. Surrounded by grown men, they get a coochie to put all. We use iron gate to enter banjo. I rolling with a baby from the ninja. On my side, get on big yellow injure. The word of God in my heart, I'm a ringer. 50 pages with my trigger finger. Drop on my knees, become prayer like blingo. Hollers on my t-shirt, brother, and from sinker. We put 10,000 in flight, we link up. I almost side and I'm playing both. Thank God for the spiritual growth. We kill the lion in the belly. The spirit descended on me like a joke. Eating the word of God, I'm a God full of a streeter. I'm a boy from me on the one there with a scripture. You call up blind, if you stay, it's your picture. I already get the so now I'm waiting for it. On the mighty in the air for the almighty. Don't do the spirit, it's a praise party. Don't tell it, I'm the mathematics. You see the theory, so we pick it out. They all are preaching a water. I get clear half of my brothers. So I turn the streets to the jail. Yeah. Surrounded by grown men, they better push it away. All the preaching a water. I get clear half of my brothers. So I turn the streets to the jail. Yeah. Surrounded by grown men, they better push it away.
And when I sound loud, the other Christian are Baller. I can't clear half of my brothers. I attend the street
I
to
tell
the
the streets
jail.
to the jail.
Surrounded by
Surrounded
grown
by
men.
grown men, just a pushing the widow.
Wow, wow. Beautiful lyric, my man. For me, when it comes to music, I'm very heavy on the lyrics, and I'm heavy on meaning to the lyrics, right? So it's not just connecting words, but connecting words so that it makes sense and it paints a very clear picture. I think that's what your music does. Very powerful. And for those that are watching, if you're wondering why we're not playing the full songs, well, one is we want you to go and check out the artist. You'll listen to the full song yourself. Another is because we're short on time, so we do not ever play the full song. But if you're really interested and you love the song, we're just trying to tease you. Go and follow the man on Audio Mac. If you see here, we have his information on Audio Mac, Mr. Man231. You can find him on Audio Mac. He's on Instagram.
So,
Preacha Mann. You can follow him on Instagram. He's also on Facebook, and you can just type in Preacha Mann on Facebook. But we want you to go and follow the artist. We're not just trying to promote his story, but also his work moving forward. And the only way you can follow that is by following him on social media. But in the song, you said surrounded by grown men, and a lot of your because of your story, a lot of what you do has to do with the ghetto and bringing people out of the ghetto. But who would you say is your targeted audience?
true.
Is it just the young people or young people specifically in the ghetto? Tell us a little bit about that.
Uh, my targeted audience, both substance abusers, and the focus with the substance abusers is to rejuvenate their hope, because there is something that the drug does to a person. The substance breaks the spirit of a man to that place of hopelessness. And once somebody is at that place of hopelessness, I don't want to say like, but you are at a place of no return. So the focus being those on the substance in the ghetto being the targeted audience is to quicken them, reawaken their hope that even though you are at this place right now in your life, like God wants to meet you right where you are. You can't fix yourself. He wants to meet you right where you are, like right where you are, right now. Even if you're smoking right now, he wants to step in there right where you are and walk with you through the process. So that's why the ghetto is the targeted audience, but also young people who are at risk is to let them know that, hey, I've been down this path, and it's a dead end. You don't have to like this path that you're on. I know it. Like you don't know the bumps along the road, but there are many. There are teachers on this road. You don't have to travel this path. I've been down this way, and I did not come back by myself. Like it was just by the grace of God that I made it back, and I'm here to warn you that you can still be youthful. You have so much energy. Like you can still channel. You can still be hyper and vibe without the substance. Like there is no need to abuse substance to express your youthfulness. You can still be youthful without abusing the substance. So it's not just those that are in the ghetto, but it's also those that are at risk of abusing the substance.
Awesome, great answer. So one is a preventative approach to avoid people from
Yes.
going into the ghetto, and then one is taking people who are already in the ghetto out of the ghetto and making them,
Yes.
sober like yourself. Great answer,
Yes,
great
sir.
answer. We have two more songs
Yes.
left, and we'll run right into the next one. The next song is
Okay.
"Do It." Do it.
Oh.
Let's see what this man is about to do. Either him or God. Let's see what is about to be done here.
Mr. Man, yeah, the hard part that starting. Yeah, but I go say you want to do it. Right, don't be scared, you want to do it. Even though he not tell you to do things that you can't do, but say he know that you can do it, he will do it through you. Yeah, but I go say you want to do it. Right, brother, don't be scared, you want to do it. Even though he not tell you to do things that you can't do, but say he know that you can do it, he will do it through you. Yeah, hey, Papa, dear, you want to do it. I know you want to do it, Papa. I know you want to do it. Hey, Papa, dear, you can do it. I know you can do it, Papa. I know you can do it. Yeah, it's not my goal, it's my grace. Giving me the strength to deal the grace. We journey face, jump out and get grace. So now we elevate, we late. I just realized that I'm blue. And that's my big thing I can do. I just see myself in red, white, blue. I see the sun where I excel, where I do. I close my eye, but my faith open wide. Faith will, it's not my sight. And I even thinking about the snakes in the grass. The truth better, but it's sweeter than the lies. Yeah. I waiting to go anywhere you send me. They show what you start popping. I want to see the ending. Now we eating joy. We are tenny. But the flow go with milk and honey. Goes from the east, it's set in the west. Yeah, one man died for the rest. Yeah, she's out of the Christ. Yeah, who just blessed? No man curse. You wait for God, let us say somebody begging you. Let us say somebody begging you. And when you feel it, play a part, let the people that be messing you. Let the people that be messing you. Yeah.
Do it, man. That one is called another great song. So tell us a little bit about what in your life people have said that you couldn't do as a man with your own strength, with your own power, or maybe things that you believe in yourself that you could not do, and God was able to do it through you.
I never thought I never thought I would be the one telling somebody about God. That I never thought I had that boldness that I could stand up for my faith. I could stand up for something. I never thought. I never thought. I never thought I would be comfortable in my own skin. I never thought. I never thought. I never thought I could receive God's love for me. I never thought I could receive it. It's one thing to know that God loves you. The Bible says God is love. It's another thing to receive that love. Like, because many times the enemy comes against us with guilt and condemnation, and he magnifies your limitation and everything that quote unquote you might not like about yourself, or everything, all of your shortcomings. But in spite of that, to rise above it and receive God's love is, I never thought I could get to that place where I could receive God's love. I never thought I could get to that place where my life will make impact. I never thought I could get to that place where I'll be doing what I love to do again. I actually love music. I never thought I would get to that place where my voice would be heard. All I thought was every childhood dream and vision I had was dead. I never thought that I could rise up again and run this race called life, but not just living, but living with a purpose and living impactfully, like waking up from day every morning and realizing that my life have a meaning. I have to stand up for something. I have to be the light. Yeah. So that song is challenging not only other people, but basically myself. I was looking at myself like, yo, I know that I see your weaknesses, EJ. I see your struggles, but God told you to do this thing. You know that you cannot. That's why he's doing it through you. That's the backdrop for that song.
I mean, I can tell you, and I can only imagine how you feel, but living with a purpose in this life is one of the most privileged things that anybody can experience. To wake up every morning and know that you're here for a reason. God has called you for a purpose, and He has spoken to you, giving you a million sons like yourself. I know is an honor, so I'm glad to hear you share your story as well. We have one more song. It's called "Pon the Place." So go ahead and play.
Yeah, when I oh yeah, that get friend.
Oh, he's work.
I go get good monkey. We step on the place. We going here to praise. We going here to pray. We not going here to play. And you make your place. And you can fall them on it. We step on the place. We don't look fly. We say, I say on my soul. Let's pray. And you make your place. And you can fall them on it. We step on the place. We make it rain. We make it rain. We make it rain. And now we going to make it rain. Make it rain. We make it rain. They say I teaming, but they know me, but I still winning. Spitting for God on the beat, yo, still see me. Going to check with my power, I know you can read me. You throwing wapi, I can jealous to say you not see me. Some people happy, some people still want me to be seen. It's mercy and it's grace He gave me, it's sufficient for me. I got this stone in my flesh, and I know your opinion. If you think I will cause go and die, you gotta be dreaming. That you the one to say the Jerry Tim Timmy. Tell around, go rap, I tell them you not see me. Shut the him up, this blind medic can stop my bleeding. Yeah, that's like I would claim tea for me. coming to see me. Jared, your daughter will not die. Believe in me, the leg get sleepy. Your cancel our whole wake happy. Instead of praising God, the German and they started laughing. The kind of man will never understand a spiritual thing. Tabita Kumi, Yaki hustling to be eating. One of the words on the course begin at eliminate. Baba, stay working on me, don't be saying finish. He will never leave a project there unfinished. But he fighting the battle where Jesus feeling winning. He came in for the street, but he taking the street for me. The way the blessing falling fire come and bust the city. The hair rising on the wall, but you're not even we step on the gas. We fly here to praise. We fly here to pray. We not fly here to play. And you miss your face. And you can part your mind.
One other thing I like about that song is one of the last few lines that we heard. It says, "He did not take me from in the street; he took the street from in me." Yeah, and I think it's gold. It talks a lot about you and your whole story. And I know it's getting late
That's
over
what's
there.
up.
Yeah, we're about to
It
wrap it up, but
is.
he did not take you from in the street. Physically, your mission, your purpose is in the street, bringing people to Him.
Yeah,
Took the street
yeah,
from you and what you believe and how
yeah.
you saw yourself, who you were. He took all that, low self-esteem away from you, gave you hope, gave you a purpose, and it's such a powerful line. Any memories
Sure.
when you hear that song?
Uh, Basically, it's me, it's me reflecting on the journey when it all just started. This is the revolution. It's like I know people like I still got my favorite line. One of my favorite lines in it is I got this stone in my flesh and I know it peeling. If you think I will cause God and die, you gotta be dreaming. Like I know. Like there are things I still struggle with. There are issues of my past that still haunts me. But in spite of everything, like if you mention your face, this is a revolution. Like there is no going back. We step on the place. We here to cause some noise, and this noise is like she's on the noise we're causing. So when I hear this song, and especially the production of this song. I remember the day we recorded this song. I remember what happened the day before. I had a really low experience. I was so empty the day before I recorded the song, and the energy on the song, I cannot believe how it happened. I already sent the beat to what we wanted to achieve to the engineer, and he worked on it, and he told me like, bro, come over. So I was like, God, I'm so empty this moment. I'm absolutely empty. Like I got no energy, and I was like, let me just go. And when I got to the studio, it was like a dynamite exploded on the inside of me, and it just came out with fire. Yeah. So playing the song, it just came back, just came back.
That's
I'm so
awesome.
sorry, Edison tripping right now. Edison Kanye, so
Okay, man. I
we need
know
it back.
the meaning of LEC is like, bro, expecting current, so I understand you're
We
expecting it.
expecting it. Can.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
that's so powerful. All your answers are amazing. I've had a good time despite the challenge that we experienced from the beginning of your internet and your connectivity issues. But thank you for making the time. I hope you have fun as much as I did. And
I
my man,
did.
I hope some ways in the future we're able to use your story in many other capacities to reach a lot more young people. And this is just not a one-stop shop for everything that we can do together as a family. But glad to have you on the platform. Just want to give you the stage one more time and say, hey, what are your last words to anybody who might have gone through what you went through, or are going through what you went through, and then what advice would you give to them?
I just want to encourage parents, man. Don't give up on your kids. We live in a time where the pressure on this generation to conform is so heavy and it's so sad. The most you can do, man, pray for them. Pray for them. I'm a product of prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. I've seen prayer doing a lot of things in my life. I've seen prayer pull my friends out of the dark. So my encouragement is going to be basically to parents. I don't know why I'm just emphasizing parents because I saw what my parents went through. I saw the hell that they went through. Like preaching God's word on Sunday, and then having to deal with me when they get back home. Like, I'm gonna encourage parents, don't give up on that child that is on the substance, don't give up on that boy, on that girl that's on the substance. And to a young man struggling to find your identity, a young woman struggling to find your identity, you can only find your true self in Christ. Like, embrace him. There is no other foundation, no solid rock that you can stand on. Life has no meaning. Take him out of the equation, like it's meaningless. He's the only meaning of life. So if you have not given your life to Jesus, you can do that right where you are, right in your room. You need no pastor to lead you anything. Just tell God, say, I believe, I'm tired. I believe, take over. I cannot do this myself. Come into my life. And he's going to step in and he's going to start to work on the inside of you. That's my last word.
Amen. And then what are your words to your fans, my man? And why they should follow the 1847 show?
Shane, listen, your father did what the seven show. Seriously, I'm encouraging you guys, man. If you enjoy the show like I did, this is my first interview after my birthday. I'm not so much of the interview type or the photo shoot type, yeah, but I have to do it because it comes with the territory. I want to encourage you. Follow the platform. Is great. I like what you're doing. I appreciate you so much, and keep your eyes open. I've not released a song for over a year now, and it's because God has been helping me to see that my identity is not on the stage or the microphone. I'm not who I am on the stage. It's not what I'm doing. It is in who I am becoming. So he has been leading me in that process to see that I'm becoming more like him, even without releasing a song. And the guys have been patiently waiting. And though I've not been releasing songs, but I've really been putting in some work. So expect new music soon. Expect Jesus Doesn't My Black coming soon. Expect a lot of good things, man. And thank you again for having me.
Of course, my man. And I
Thank you for having me.
plan to visit Liberia soon. Hope to meet you in person, and we can kick it up there more. But
Exactly.
yes, this platform is now your platform. So if you release a new song, feel free to send it to us. We can also help promote it as well. But thank you for accepting our invite and
Thank
doing all
you.
your best to have a successful interview. And that's all, my man. Take care. And then for those of you that are watching, you've been watching the 1847 show. I've been your host, the one and only Prince Lamijabo, and this was the 10th edition of our Music Fest. If you're not yet following our platform, we encourage you to please do so, as you have learned. And we'll see, we are here to promote every and all things Liberian. So from gospel musicians like Mr. Preacha Mann, who is doing amazing things, to other people as well in the industry, entrepreneurs, social activists, anyone that is a Liberian in and out of Liberia doing amazing things. We're here to promote that because we want to use their story, their message to encourage other Liberians as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you like to support that red, white, and blue, we want you to follow our page because we have a lot more beautiful content for you. But until next time, God bless you and God bless our beautiful Mama Liberia. Stay tuned.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C, O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See you.